Two coming through the middle. Aotearoa for three.
No mai, hoki mai, talofa lava, bulu inaka malo elele, namaste, ni hao, konnichiwa, and welcome back to the 5th annual New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament 2025. We are coming to you live from the National Hockey Centre here in North Harbour for day 2 of tournament, where our teams are already feeling the pressure of must-win games with this short format tournament and the winner-takes-all finals come Easter Monday. If you're looking for breakneck excitement, silky skills and high-stake games, this is the place to be, and this is Heritage Hockey 2025. Our final matchup of the day here on the live stream turf is a women's cross-pool matchup between New Zealand Asian and the Fiji Heritage ladies teams. It's another battle between two of the newer teams, two Heritage with the New Zealand Asians in their second year and Fiji Heritage in year 1. Yesterday, these two teams both had wins. Asian team beating the Māori Wahine in regular time 5-2. Meanwhile, Fiji Heritage had to do it the hard way through the penalty shootout, taking their win over New Zealand Pacifica yesterday. So both up winners here are led out by their respective captains. It's Shane Garcia for the New Zealand Asian side and Divyanka Kumar for Fiji. Now, Shane Garcia representing the Philippines, as we get a smile there on the way out too. We love to see it from our teams. The Fiji Heritage team, we saw them yesterday in the pink kits, and New Zealand Asian, first look at them in the black and red. The southern kits there this weekend. So two teams out in the middle. There are our Asian Dragons team, and we can see the rain pouring. Unfortunately, it has started to come in here for our final game. Just looking at some of the team list for the Asian Dragons, there's a few local Aucklanders here that you got to take a look at. Julia King, former Blackstick international at the senior level. She's joined by Jess Ellis and Belinda Smith, two of the premier club hockey players going around the Auckland circuit for this New Zealand Asian women's team. And on the other side of the field, the Fiji Heritage lineup. We saw them yesterday. I mentioned the likes of Marika and Nadia Magoon, really good in the midfield, linking up with the captain, Divyanka Kumar. But I was impressed by Catherine Fabiano, the number 2, who plays around the back for this Fiji Heritage team. Look for some of the work she's expected again this afternoon. You hear the Fiji women there up and at it. There's the flag adorned on the front of the dugouts. Meanwhile, the Dragons, well, they're ready as well. They just saw their men, fall over at the final hurdle, and now an opportunity for them to peg one back here against this Fijian outfit. Now, referees for the afternoon, Anton Paulin and Lewis Brownsie out there in yellow for our final game. As we see, it looks like the Dragons will have first use of it there. And we're waiting for the umpires to be ready. There's the whistle, there's the pass, and there's the start of our final match of the day here. The Asian Dragons, first use of it. And a bit of work there. Alyssa Elia, that's Belinda Smith at the back. And they roll it through. Nice bit of first up passing. There's the captain, Shane Garcia, coming straight off the Junior Hockey League earlier in the week, backing up for another round of hockey here at Heritage 2025. Belinda Smith there working alongside Elora Lau there with the headband on. And Garcia, the captain, can't get past. That's the one I was speaking of. That's Catherine Fabiano. She's perhaps playing up a little higher up the field this time. And here they come away through Nadia Magoon. Belinda Smith there in 20 for the Dragons. Like I said, one of the premier club players has spent a fair number of years playing national hockey leagues for Auckland. And out here to support the Dragons this year. That one's going to fall around halfway there for Zoe Ellis. And they play up this right-hand side now. The Dragons, but can't get through the first time. They'll have another go at it down the same channel and, in fact, opt to maybe open up the other side of the field. This one's going to fall here for Garcia. A little fake over the ball. Sends it back towards the middle, but it's picked up by Magoon. That's Marika there, winning the free hit and looking lateral. Looks like Kaylee Tuiravi getting the start today. Out at right half there for the Fiji team. On the ball now with the free hit. And they go around the back. In back three shape with an overlapped left half, but they run out of space on that left-hand side of the field. And there's the bench for Fijians. Pretty happy to be out of the rain, I think, more than anything. Never too keen to jump on as Julia King shows off the back stick pass to Shane Garcia. Does really well in the end. I think she'll be pretty disappointed in the first up trap there, but does enough to earn the penalty corner. Coach Paul Magoon pretty happy if they can turn this one away, the Fiji team. You see that, look at that, just bobbled around a few extra times there. Would have loved to get a first up shot away, but composed, gets the penalty corner and first opportunity here to the Dragons. One thing I will say from yesterday is have a look at Belinda Smith here on the second bracket. Instead they go to Jess Ellis on the first. She stands and delivers. They get a second go at it here. A little bit of a challenge. They come along the baseline, up off the stick. And it'll fall there for the Fiji team. Yeah, from all reports yesterday, we didn't see them because they were on the back turf, but from all reports, they had that penalty corner humming in the first game. And Belinda Smith, Jess Ellis, a couple that are pretty deadly from the penalty corner bracket that time, though saved. As we see this Fiji team, coming away down the right-hand side. And I'm fortunate enough to be joined in commentary here by Luke Elms. Luke, one of the Premier Hockey League players late last year and out here supporting the Fiji team. How have you seen the weekend so far?
Yeah, it's good. It's really good that the weather's staying away, so we're quite happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And your boys had a big come from behind victory in that most recent game, down 4-1 late in the third quarter. Finally getting things going from the penalty corner bracket in the fourth quarter. Was there any special message at the end of the third, or how did you see that one unfold?
I think it was just to stick to what we know, not trying to overcomplicate it a bit. I think the boys were a bit flustered in the first half, but it's good that we kept our composure and stuck to our values, and we got away with the win, luckily.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see out here a bit of action. The Asian Dragons rolling up that right baseline. That one's come up off the stick there of Catherine Fabiano. Still there for the Dragons. And it's messy. The shot's away and the shot's in there. Zoe Ellis makes the most of the scramble. Goal coming there. Took a couple of goes at it. And the Asian Dragons put one ahead. We'll have a look at it on the replay thanks to One Foundation. A little messy here, up off the stick of Fabio. Reverse stick gets blocked. Little challenge there underneath and couldn't clear it. Finally fell there for Alice, and that's enough. Zoe Alice finds the first one for the Asian team, and similar to the game we just saw, the Asian Dragons strike first here. Luke, what do you, we haven't seen much of this game yet. We're still only 7 minutes in, but what are some of the things that you look for, especially in the attacking circle, that teams start doing well in terms of execution up front?
Yeah, I think just making sure that they're hitting their T-spots and hitting their zones. Looking for those upgrades if we don't have any shots on goal. But yeah, scoring inside that 7-yard zone is very clinical. So very well done by the Asian girls. Yeah,
and I mean, you like to see a striker that's pretty keen just to get her hands on it and give it a rip. You know, there's a little bit of a scramble in there in the end. So sometimes you just got to get something going on target and that goal, and paid dividends in the end there for Zoe Alice. You see, there's not a lot of manpower on the bench there in that Asian Dragons lineup. I think they've got 3 subs for the game there. So if they can get a lead and hold it, that might be their best bet at it. Though they did manage to put 5 goals away against the Indian ladies in their game yesterday. A little messy coming forward, breaking down here. Julia King cleaning up. And there's the trio we spoke about earlier: Belinda Smith, Jess Alice, and Julia King. Those are 3 names around the Auckland scene here, pretty well known, Luke. And the ladies' side of things, all out here for the Dragons.
Yeah, it's really good to see them coming back to represent their culture. Obviously, Julia King's played a lot of games for New Zealand, so it's good to see the likes of her coming out to play. So hopefully, in the future years, that Black Sox actually do want to come back and play for their culture.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been a real driving force of getting this off the ground for the New Zealand Asian community and for the group there. Julia King, of course, as you mentioned, a number of games for the Black Sticks at the senior international level, and out here year 2 for the Dragons as they break forward up over halfway. That one is Shanae Phillips. And a little bit of speed up now on the ball. Here come the Dragons. Bit of space. That's the goal scorer, Zoe Alice. Still going. Baseline. And onto the foot there. In fact, I think it was Lucy Russ up there. If we get the numbers, it was Russ. Just driving the baseline and onto the foot there of the defender. Good heads-up play. We'll have a look at the penalty corner. I said yesterday that they scored a few from the corner bracket. Belinda Smith is up there. Jess Alice again. So if we have a look, setting up 2 brackets. Jess on the first. She took the first one. Belinda Smith here on the second. Looks like a pretty standard 3-1 out of the back for the Fiji team. Let's see how it plays out. Second bracket. Smith in the corner. Just like that. That's how you do it. Not a lot you can do as a goalkeeper there when Belinda Smith gets her hands on it and rips it into the corner. Really strong finish there, Luke.
Oh, very strong. It's good to see the straight hit still going strong. Straight in the corner. Can't do much about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually saw one in your guys' earlier game. Just a little bit of a miscue actually at the top, and he got his hands on it and ripped one.
Sometimes the goalies don't expect straight hits from men's hockey. They go away from it, but just got to go back to the roots, and obviously it paid off.
Yeah, that's it. I was talking to John Casey after the game, and I said, what about the upright hit? And he said, I just wasn't ready for it. It was hands up, waiting for flicks, waiting for deflections, and then that comes down the barrel. So, yeah, you're right. Old school skills, though, they still apply here in that one from Belinda Smith. Really solid execution for the Asian team, and just like that, up 2-0 early in the first quarter here. And again, I hate to bring it up again, but similar to how their men were only 2 hours ago. Fast start for the Asians.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be really interesting to see, obviously, with the Asians not having as many subs, how the game actually goes.
Yeah, really good point, actually. Like I mentioned, 3 subs on the bench, whereas the Fijian side, well, they look like they've got a full complement. So potentially fatigue could be could come into play here for this Asian side. We see a couple of players getting in and off, on and off the field. There's Shanae Phillips again for the Asian side. Tui Ravi working out of the back, linking up there with Divyanka Kumar. Just a little tentative play there before trying to go forward. And the Fijian crowd in front of us asking for pressure. There is the pressure being put on. And a little hit away after the whistle too. Love that. Here's Jess Ellis. She's one of the senior players in the team. Played last year as well for the Asian side. And they come forward. Lovely overhead here. Finds Shanae Phillips on the 25-yard line. Play a little dump off action here. And it's going to work for the Asian side. For a little clean up. Sweep tackle there in the end. Does enough for Fiji. Now, Luke, how did you get involved with the Fiji Heritage side?
Actually, I went away in early December with Kevin Fraser to Fiji to play a fives tournament for New Zealand Fiji. So, yeah, I was actually down to play, but one of the boys decided to come over, so I thought I'd just come along and coach and help the boys out.
Wicked. And what was that experience like going and playing over there?
Oh, epic. Obviously, played some countries and teams that I've never played before, and a lot of teams or people would never actually get to play ever in their hockey career. So it was actually quite cool.
Yeah, awesome. And it's pretty cool. I was talking to Kevin just before you guys game about the whole program of getting those Fijian players over. So you see there's 9 or 10 of them that have come over this year to be part of the Fiji Heritage group. And again, it's about giving them opportunities to upskill. I think some of the coaching staff have come across as well. And, it's players like yourself, the Fraser boys, Jack Suchun, who are getting involved locally and helping them with that pathway. So pretty epic stuff, and we look forward to seeing more of it here at Heritage every year. So shout out to the crew that have come across from Fiji, both in the men's and women's. The women's are doing the exact same thing here with, again, another handful of players in this women's side that have come out from the islands alongside some coaching staff working with Paul Magoon in the women's side. And out here, they got their first up win yesterday through the shootout, but this one looks like it's going to be a little tougher against the Asian Dragons. This Fiji team. One thing I will say, Luke, probably one of the best looking kits, the playing kit in the pink, your coaching kit in the blue. Well kitted out, this Fiji group.
Oh, exactly, man. You got to look the part as well. Like, you can play some good hockey, but as long as you're looking good as well, it's a plus.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jake Suchun said. He said he only come back from Aussie to get some kit, so good to see the lads getting involved there and looking sharp at the same time. Here's a bit of skill work from the Dragons. Here's the entry. It's a bouncing one. And just beats them all through the circle there. And this one is going to be a foot race into the corner. As usually happens, the ball beats them all. And nobody too interested in running to go and get it. And they'll have a little standoff in the corner about who wants it. And we'll finally go and pick it up. There's Laura Lowe. Speaking of looking the part, yeah, your blue kicks on and making sure they're ready to go. So Abby Stewart there and Belinda Smith under a little bit of pressure, but pretty calm around the back. Low again up this left side of the field, but the easy cutout in the end by Nadia Magoon. And now the Dragons with a little bit of possession. They're off and running here. And again, the Dragons up towards that circle edge, but free hit. A relieving one for the Fiji team. We see this Asian team starting up pretty high in this press, trying to put some pressure on the Fiji group around the back, and it's working for them at the moment. This Fiji team just struggling to get out of their own end a little bit here. See the sideline hit going down that right channel, cut out by Tui Ravi. again, they just can't link up out of this back end. Pressure on from the Dragons. So we see Paul and Marika. Yeah, coach and player there, the Magoons. Trying to figure out a bit of a plan, a way to break down this Asian group here and apply some pressure down on the goal of Shuku Morimoto. Low down the sideline, links up well. Second pass, they have to go backwards. Here is Shane Garcia. And now a bit of space on that right side if they can find the go forward pass. Here's Jess Ellis. They opt to go backwards. Good patience shown here by this Asian Dragon side. Fiji looking pretty happy just to sit in a bit of a three-quarter at the minute. And now they'll push, no, not quite. Looking for perhaps a little trigger, a soft pass or a half trap that they can go and put some pressure on. Moving players up the field here. Inch in their way. Perhaps they can try and keep the ball on one side. I think this Dragons team are pretty keen just to see the seconds count off the clock. They've got the 2-goal lead, and there it is, the end of the first quarter. And it's a 2-goal lead by way of Zoe Ellis and Belinda Smith here. The goal scorers for the New Zealand Asian side, up 2-0 into the first quarter, and our final match of the day here at New Zealand Heritage Hockey Tournament 2025. Day 2, as we see the teams come from the field. Look, it looked like the Asians just the better of their opportunities. They had, probably 2 or 3 real, genuine chances at it, and 2 goals on the board, so they'll be pleased.
Yeah, they will be. It just looks like the Fiji girls are struggling to string a few passes together and outlet out of their half. So it'll be real interesting to see what happens in the next quarter.
Yeah, I think you could see Coach Paul Magoon there really just trying to figure out what they're doing in that defensive mids type of area on their outlet, whether they're going 2 points of contact or whether they're trying to play a front and back. Looked like it was what we was kind of drawing in those pitches there. So, yeah, they really need the likes of Nadia, Marika, Divyanka Kumar, who are playing in that midfield area, just to get some clarity around their roles, so that they can outlet with a little bit more ease, because at the moment, like you said, they're just struggling to string it together. This is the first corner here. Well saved. It was Jess Ellis that took that one and landed safely in the end. This, I believe, is the first goal after a couple little scrambles. That one's in the back. And it was all New Zealand Asian in this first quarter. They had a string of attacks here. This one finding the foot. And then the corner here, like we said, not a lot you can do with that one. That's gone straight in the sideboard, and those are the 2 goals that separate the teams as they come back out here. And that's the stats. That tells the tale, doesn't it? It's pretty efficient by way of the Asian side. Like I said, probably 3 opportunities, which is what they had, and 2 goals from it. Nothing so far to pay for the Fijian efforts, but look, still 3 quarters of hockey here to get things rolling. And this Asian side, first use of it on the quarter break. It's going to fall rather fortunately there for the Dragons. Bring the captain, Garcia, onto the ball. And nice little rolling half up there, Violet Liu. Well defended there, Catherine Fabiano, getting nice and low. And earns a free hit for her team coming out as well. Let's have a look at this outlet here, see what their options are. This time they go aerial, and it's probably no better than the last few, but that one's cut out by Magoon momentarily. Garcia will win. No, she'll actually concede the free hit there in the challenge. This outlet again. This is where this Fijian team have just struggled in the first half. And Julia King just disrupting that, and straight onto attack come the Dragons. It looks like you're going to have to take a little bit more room around some of those Fijian defenders. Good low, flat tackling. And that's how you do it. Show a little bit of speed here. Yeah, so we saw a little bit more enterprise with that outlet that time, sort of rolling around to a left half and then back into one of those sort of DMs in Nadia, but Julia King just causing a real muck. She's pretty heads up with, with what she's trying to do. That one comes across the goal in the air. It's a little messy. And reliever there for Fiji. It's one of those things, Luke, you see it a fair bit. I think this Fiji team just want to play a little bit of hockey down the other end of the field. However they need to get down there, whether it's, work a couple of free hits and just get it to the other end. Again, you can see this is the shape that he's drawing here with the wing halves, those two DMs, and just trying to figure out how they get post-ups, how they transfer the ball side to side. Looks like a real challenge on his hands at the moment. Paul Magoon trying to get out of this back end. Another free hit coming here, just up on the baseline for the Asian Dragons. Nadia Magoon giving away that one. Now, with a bit of pace, the Asian Dragons just plug in the same area. I'd love to see them perhaps get the ball to the other side of the field. Pretty staunch Fijian defensive group. If you just keep running at them. Again, that's exactly what happens there. Oh, that was potentially the thought there, was just get it to the other end of the field. Take a breath and perhaps see if we can put a bit of a press on. But they roll some numbers forward now. Divyanka Kumar runs out of turf down there. Unfortunate for the Fiji Heritage team. The Asian Dragons enjoying a huge amount of both possession and territory to start the second quarter. As we see some of the subs getting ready to come on. That one, though, over the baseline. And Luke, tell us a bit about your hockey journey, where it all started, and what you're doing now with the sport.
Yes, I started in a small place called Napier. I'm from a hockey family of a lot in Napier. Slowly decided that making New Zealand under-18 teams, that I'd branch my way. As we see.
Yeah, big Julia opportunity. King. Julia King, great save. And couldn't quite finish that. That's the dangers of Julia King floating around in that midfield. You can see she's actually pushed herself up a little higher in the press too. Really looking to hunt there on those two defensive mids that are playing for Fiji, but Magoon gets tangled up in it. And a couple of whistles here. Yeah, you mentioned growing up in Napier, hockey family.
Yeah, so it's quite a small place, so it's quite hard to branch out for hockey. The quality of club level down there is struggling a little bit, so I thought I'd find my way to Auckland. So with Junior World Cup and that coming up when I was playing, so yeah, I managed to make the Junior World Cup squad 2 years ago. So went to Johor Cup, Malaysia Cup, and got to play alongside my brother. So it was actually quite a special thing to do.
Yeah, cool. And what's hockey doing for you at the moment? Where are you at?
So I'm playing for Auckland Indians with Blair Tarrant and the likes of Benji Cohane. So it's it was quite a good club to be around. I enjoy it. Love playing for the boys. Good culture there. So enjoy my hockey.
Yeah, cool. And it would have been a real special one to be able to play internationally with your brother. In that New Zealand age group side, so it would have been pretty cool for yourself and your family. As again we see an Asian Dragons spirited attack here up this right side, and kicked and cleared away. And who were some of your earliest coaches? Who were the people that got you on that hockey pathway?
So obviously Napier being a small place, I actually got coached by my father quite a bit with high school and reps, so and Graham Finlay, who coached the Falcons for PHL. So yeah, we're all the hockey families are quite close. So basically, all my second family pretty much. So yeah.
Yeah, wicked. And there's a few players in that national program at the moment, both on the boys and girls side, that have come out of the Hawke's Bay. I'm not sure how many are out of Napier, but there's a bit going on down there, and like you say, being able to come up to Auckland and create a few more opportunities and chase the dream. Really cool things happening down in that area. So
yeah, exactly. I think we have about 4 or 5 in the men's, and I think maybe 3 from the girls, and a lot of people knocking on the door trying to get their opportunity for the Black Six.
yeah, absolutely. So how good is that? Napier, Hawke's Bay on the map there, and like I say, that's the opportunity through the PHL to perhaps go back and represent with the Falcons organisation, and now also the Junior Hockey League as well. So yeah, shout out to any of those young aspiring players in the Hawke's Bay. Yeah, there's plenty of opportunity to keep going. Speaking of keep going, jeez, shot out of a gun there. It's Lucy Russ.
Yeah, I think the Fiji girls they started off well trying to string a few passes around the back, but they've just a lot of pressure coming from the Asia girls. Obviously playing quite a high press, trying to turn the ball over in their half, almost in their 25 almost. So yeah, it's be real interesting to see what the Fiji girls do for the rest of this quarter.
Oh, bit of skill coming. Yeah, you're absolutely right, and perhaps it's one of the game plans when you don't have many subs. If you can turn the ball over up high in the field, you limit some of the running you have to do back on defence. So could be a game plan there. Julia King, part of the Brains Trust in the Asian Dragons group.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you're up 2-0 as well, you can play with a little bit more freedom. You don't have to worry about your goal because they haven't really been in the half yet to actually show some attacking threat.
Yeah, that's exactly it. As we see, Courtney Phillips, yeah, really well defended by Kaylee Tuiravi. Strong on the ball there. You're right, and they've got Shiku Morimoto down there in goal anyway, the Asian Dragons, local legend here in Harbour. I'm sure she'll be keen for a bit of action, so sending her girls forward, and perhaps she might get a couple of bits of it later in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Don't count the Fiji girls out. You saw how the boys' game went, and 2-0's a lead, but in this kind of hockey, 2-0's not that much of a lead. I'm sure that the Fiji girls will bounce back.
Yeah, absolutely, and we've seen it in a lot of the games. Teams that get out fast, and then teams just start to find their rhythm. It's one thing about this tournament. A lot of the teams come together on the last day or on the day of. As we see a penalty corner here come in the way of the Asian side. Sometimes it just takes a couple of reps to get on the same page and get things sorted. We'll see this replay ball in here from Sinead Phillips. It was the captain, Shane Garcia, getting the touch on it. And we'll get another look at this penalty corner bracket. So it's the same two at the top this time. Jess Ellis there and Belinda Smith on the second. We look, if they've had option each. This one was the goal scorer in this corner. So have a look at the options here. They go first bracket. Ellis doesn't get all of it. And they've kicked it clear. Potentially an opportunity at the other end if they can break out here. And that one couldn't be taken in by Laura Bukaledi. Yeah, just didn't get all of it there, did Jess Ellis, you could tell. Yeah, a bit of a miscue, but well saved in the end by Fiji. Sometimes as a goalkeeper, those bouncy, slow ones can be the ones that pull you up.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, the amount of pressure that the Fiji girls have been on, credit to them, they're defending very well. Could be definitely more than 2 goals.
Yeah, and they'll take a lot out of that. As much as you come off perhaps behind on the scoreboard, you've got to take those positives out. And for the wave after wave that this Asian Dragons team have thrown, to have only kept it to 2, despite all of that weight of possession, they're doing a lot of good stuff here. As we see, he wins it back there, Marika Magoon, but probably going to get under a bit of pressure from Phillips, who wins the free hit. Again, we see another outcome from this Asian press, or high pressure. Julia King in the middle of the field, just playing distributor at the moment. And nice little 3D pass here. That one's lifted. Magoon thought she was probably going to get a free hit for it, but it's all turned sideways for the Fiji team, and it's friendly fire for another penalty corner for this Asian team. That's unfortunate there. We'll see it on the replay. I think Magoon thought that one was going to be a free hit, but it was actually up off her own player, and then The clearance attempt from Ateva Fatufego there, hitting Abby Stewart on the leg. So Belinda Smith on pitcher. She's moved her way onto the first bracket. Jess Ellis on the second. I dare reckon that they're probably going to go to Belinda here. Jules to inject. There it is. Belinda first bracket. And that's a good save. Just didn't quite get it in the areas that time, Belinda Smith. Now Alice looking. Finds her captain. And that one's poked. A little fake there. And free hit coming the way of the Asian side. They get it going quickly. Little slider is cut out. And free hit coming. They take it quickly. There's not a lot of players there with her, though. It has to go backwards through Magoon. Magoon beats one. Oh, we love to hear the crowd out in front of us. I think, to be fair, the camera might flatter it. She was nowhere near it. But the Fijian crowd cheering them on. You love to see it. You love to hear it. That's heritage hockey. You do it for the camera. If the camera made it look close, then that's all that anyone will remember. But I like the free hit taken quickly. I like the little transfer in the midfield, and Marika Magoon just throwing a little speculator up into that area. Just asking a couple of questions, potentially, of the Asian defence. That's a great pass there. Sets the Asian Dragons off down that right side again. Baseline. Free hit coming outside the circle. I think if there's one thing I'd be a little nitpicky about this Asian Dragons side, just be a little guilty of plugging the same area as they end up getting a shot away here through Shanae Phillips. And for the Phillips family watching up north, not a noted goal scorer, Shanae. Found herself in there. One's just rolling around. He ended up collecting the legs there, I think, of Devyanka Kumar, who scrambled back on defence. And there's the sole support crew for the Asian Dragons. That's the totality of the bench at the moment.
Yeah, I think they'll be ready to get back on the field soon, because the short subs are quite fast rotation going.
That's it. They'll be in the 2-minute rotations, I reckon. Here we go. This time. No, there we go. You're going to end up calling it for Julia King's swing. That missed everything. Anton Paul in there, looking like he's having a minor heart attack. And the Fiji team get out of things. But interesting, it almost looks like Jess and Belinda are just taking turns at the penalty corner bracket. You have one, I have one, and we'll just see what happens. But I think they were actually looking for the deflection on that one.
I'd like to see a little bit of a switch up here. Obviously, the straight hits were working, but this quarter they don't seem to be working. So I'd like to see maybe a little deflection option, maybe for the next penalty corner.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. You know, you've got two people there that can put the ball in good spots there. It's just about getting your deflectors in and nice and low, and really finding your targets. So, yeah, I agree. We'd love to see a little bit of a change-up, perhaps, from this Asian penalty corner bracket. Let's see, down this right side again for the Asian side, and that one beats Lily Botting over the sideline. And here come the reinforcements. One at a time, don't all go at once. Somebody's got to keep the bench warm down there for the Asian side. And now, a big long handle, but it's wayward. And just like that, the Asian Dragons are going to come straight back on attack.
Yeah, I think maybe a few small games in there. Maybe the girls just getting a little bit close. Obviously, if there's cutting them off from going back and around, I think the girls need to just come in close and give her an option. Yeah, even if it's small games, just to win a free hit that they can take on a bit of a roll. You know, if they've got numbers there, just something to break up. Yeah.
Because at the moment, it's looking pretty tough out there for that defensive group We'll see another look at how high that Asian press is. 3 players right there, probably all of 10 metres each away. And that one will be play on. Nobody really in and around it. And the one thing that does really set the Asian press up is they've got players like Julia King and Jess Ellis that just sit in behind it. And even if the press gets their shape slightly wrong, they're usually there to pick up any sort of 50-50 like that one that Jules just picked up. So working on 2 levels at the moment, this Asian press.
Yeah, exactly, especially with Julia King and your press in the midfield. She almost knows where the ball's going to go before the ball goes there, so she's able to pick it off and go forward. Yeah,
absolutely. As we see now, the dugout to tough time here, still 2-0, so no change to that first quarter scoreline. Fiji find themselves behind on the scoreboard to a New Zealand Asian side, spurred by goals to Zoe Alice and Belinda Smith. Umpires, will they get their break as well? And the teams will get through their bit of coaching.
Yeah, I think that was quite a positive quarter from the Fiji girls. Their backing arounds looked a little bit more with attacking with intent, so definitely a positive quarter for the Fiji women.
Yeah, and I think more than anything, it just looked like they were trying a couple of things. You know, they tried that transfer, they tried the midfield entry. We'll see some of the highlights here. This is the first up corner. Good save on the left boot there. Jess Ellis getting that one away. And then they get the re-entry, but nothing coming from it. This one here's the goal, and just love to see getting their hands on it after a bit of a scramble, get something going on goal. And that was enough for the Asians' first goal. This one finds the foot here. And then if we have a look at this one, it's Linda Smith here on the second bracket. And when we get through to the goal, when you give her this much space to get a shot away, pretty clear what's going to end up. She gets it away. It's in the corner. Nothing much you can do as defenders or as the goalkeeper there in that penalty corner. Julia King, she had this opportunity very early. A little stumbling save there, and then the miscue from Lily Botting. And then later in that second, this is a penalty corner coming by the way of Garcia. This time, I think if we just have a look at some of this here. This is the friendly fire we saw a little bit earlier, and we'll have a look at the penalty corner here, because I think we were talking about, Luke, just some of these options. So this is where we want to see them perhaps looking at, is this a deflection? Is that perhaps that deflection? And if they've got their injector, somewhere over this side by the end of the goal, what are their options here? Because, both Jess and Belinda, who are playing at this distributor role, have the ability to put it on there. So would like to see a change up. The other option here is if they do run these, this pass becomes potentially an option as well, out to a roaming space.
Yeah, exactly. Even a little 1-2 as well. Just get the first runner out of the equation and put some pressure on the pads and just have a shot.
Yeah.
Shot or push on goal. Make the goal, make the first save, and then play the rebounds.
Yep, absolutely. As we see, that's Jess Ellis there on the right, leading a bit of the conversation in the Asian Dragons dugout. They'll be pretty pleased, I think, with how things are going at the moment. Their high press is working. They're getting opportunities. They've put 2 away. They'll just want to keep doing more of the same, I think, in this quarter. What do you think Coach Paul Magoon is saying to the Fiji ladies?
I think definitely it should be a positive team talk after that last quarter. As we saw when the Fiji girls got the free hit in the middle of the field, they actually went quickly and they actually put a lot of pressure on the Asia defence, and they weren't actually ready. So I think just taking the ball quickly, catching the Asian girls off guard, and I think that's when they're actually going to create a lot of opportunities to score goals.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key for them is just trying to figure out how they can trigger that free hit, how they can work those small games out of their own end, whether it's getting an extra player in close, and I think we probably saw that they needed that, just an extra player in off the A defender's left foot, or something they can just work a little triangle, win the free hit, and then the likes of Marika Magoon there we see, her sister Nadia, can just get things rolling and get going. Throw a little 3D or a little bouncing ball in behind and ask some questions, because at the moment, the Asian defence are able to just sit in their pockets and be pretty comfortable with how they're playing. So a couple of pointers hopefully there for this Fijian side, but in saying that, it's easier to coach from up here.
Oh, exactly. It's an easier job doing it up here than down there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing a few weighted balls from the Fiji girls, because damn, I think some of those girls have some wheels, even faster than some of the men.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it out there, no doubt. The likes of Akosita Adigonetha, number 7, Laura Ukadledi, number 9, both got a turn of pace. So we'd love to see them potentially, just throw that weighted one, make the Asian Dragons play out of their own end for a little bit, and see what they can make of it. The teams come out here for the second half. Don't forget to subscribe to New Zealand Heritage Hockey on YouTube. The only way you can keep up with all the live streams, all the highlights, and all the replays from this weekend's tournament. It's New Zealand Heritage Hockey on YouTube, the only place you can catch all the action live and free, thanks to Local Gecko Productions, One Foundation, and Alpha. And there we go. This Fiji team now with a little bit more space, but they're going right back to their own end. This Asian side not starting as high. A couple of passes, then they look long there, but it's cut out. And there's the speed. It's the speed of the Asian Dragons down that left side, left flank there. This one, Monet Garcia. An early opportunity saved, but it's going to fall for one more here, potentially for the Dragons. Long corner there.
That's definitely a better start from the Fiji girls. I think just from that backing around, I would like to see the Fiji girls maybe pushing out the field from the back too. Just getting that up the field a bit more instead of playing around deeper. Like when you don't have a lot of pressure on, you can actually play higher up the field.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the two middles, they just got a little bit guilty of playing a bit too deep, too close to the top of their own circle, especially when that Asian press wasn't as high. And that one is going to fall the way of the Dragons. That one picks the foot up there of Abigail Stewart, and just as we were applauding the start from the Fijians, the Asian side here just get a quick one onto the foot. Couldn't get her feet outside the circle. The Asian bench, they look on. We'll have a look at this penalty corner. Again, looks like the same two at the top. Jess Ellis, Belinda Smith, 2 on this right side and nothing on the left. It's almost like they heard us calling for a variation, Luke. They roll one back down to the injector, don't really finish it off, I think, the way Jules was hoping to. But it is a different look.
Yeah, it is a different look. It's good to keep the opposition guessing as well.
Yeah, and if you're looking at what has happened previous in the corner, obviously the right post is actually staying pretty close to the post because they're worried about that Belinda Smith target that she had in that second goal, which has opened up that space there for Julia King as the injector to get it back. But this is, would love to see a nice little 1-2 pass there, or finding a free hit to play on the back of. There for the Fijian team, again, having to do it the hard way. It's going to fall pretty comfortably there for Lau. She links up with King, Alice. And they go up this right side. Overrun there by Lily Botting. So even here, wouldn't mind them getting one just a little closer, because that's too easy, I think, for the Asian Dragons, so especially on the forehand there, just to pick up that ball over distance. Not a lot of pressure on it. And now very nearly able to mount an attack from it. So we'll see a similar thing here. Forced to take the sideline. Asian team up in this full press again. And again, even in that picture just there, the closest Fiji player was way back out on the baseline. And we've kind of got one going in there in the midfield now, but I'd love to see even 2 points up in here just to make things, this is a little easier, and then one more pass. Now, if they'd been able to give that first one they just did then and then potentially a square one towards the middle of the field, just to break through that first layer, I think that's potentially the fix for this Fiji team. We'll see if they've got a transfer option here.
I do like seeing the Fiji just switch it up from a back 4 to a back 3 as well. Still playing with a lot of confidence and definitely a positive for the Fiji girls.
Yep, absolutely. I thought they probably did enough for a free hit there, but they'll get it back through the tackle, and this time they look long, and it's going to work for them. Here is Ratavu, Belinda Smith, one of the, I mentioned, a really talented player, played a lot of National Hockey League for Auckland, Belinda Smith, and does the clean-up job. Hopefully they take a little bit of confidence from that little attacking opportunity there. The Fiji team. They come, the Asian Dragons, up towards that T-bar. And it's good defence there. It's desperate defence. She's down real low. Makes a tackle over the back line. On corner coming here for the Asian Dragons. Jess Ellis plays it back to Belinda Smith.
Yeah, defensively, the Fiji girls in their 22 are quite sound.
Yeah, I've been impressed. They're pretty tough, pretty physical, love a good flat stick and strong tackle. They've been up to almost everything. Like I said, considering the stats weighing so heavily in the Asian team's favour, done a pretty good job here, as we see. That's a little bit of an awkward one in the end there, but it will fall the way of the Fijians. The ruling that came up off the stick of the Asian player, and even that first pass there, Luke, I'd love to see them really trying to look for the midfield first. You know, there's nothing worse as an outside half or outside defender being rolled the first pass and having a press just come running at you on the sideline.
Yeah, especially if they are trying to hit those outside players first. Actually, one of the DMs actually being an option. Yeah. Especially if there's no point of passing the ball out to the right if you don't have a pass. As you said, I would love to see, as they do it now, them knock it into the midfield and then knock it out. Yep,
just something like that. Even if it's a touch point, a little bounce pass, something that just comes in and out, just to break up this press and get them back a little bit. Even that pass there, having to go backwards, I'd love to see them up on the advantage line a bit more. The outletting group. This one's going to go towards halfway, and it's a nice little speed-up lead there from Divyanka Kumar. And good control shown. She leaves one in her wake and still going. Kumar, and it goes. And left to go over the baseline there by Shuku Morimoto in goal. But again, that lead up came from the little bounce in and out with Marika Magoon. They threw the next layer up into the midfield, and it's a nice lead from Divyanka Kumar to pick it and get them going forward. So good signs there from the Fiji side.
Yeah, exactly. I think the next step is once they're actually in there and the New Zealand Asia had the ball, actually keeping them in their own half, not letting them outlet easy.
Yep, that's it. It's trying to turn that press back on them. As we see, a little back and forth there. Garcia thought she did enough for a free hit. Umpire's not obliging. And now, nice couple of passes through this midfield. Love this. Here's some space for Nadia Magoon. Magoon. Oh, an excellent tackle coming there. Lucy Russ made the tackle. Jess Ellis will just slow things down a second. Coach Paul Magoon, he's got a lot of pointing at the moment. And now, here's where we want to see Fiji really try and exert some effort here in the press. There you go. Oh, she's lost her stick, and she's going to win the free hit too. Perhaps a little fortunate, but you make your own luck. And now an opportunity here for the Fiji team.
Yeah, exactly. See what happens when you go higher up and put a bit of pressure on that ball carrier. It actually keeps the player guessing.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about it earlier, the Asian side's ability just to play in the front half of the field. Given their limited subs, if you make them work back to their own end a few times, legs are going to start burning and the lungs will come into play. So As we see ball down, oh, that's a lovely touch pass, and it's going to work here for the Asian side. 3D skill, wins a free hit. Botting will work into the circle, bring Garcia onto the ball. Nice little midfield transfer. Shanae Phillips can't bring it in. It's over the sideline there, but you're right, just putting a little bit of press on this Asian side. As we see the smiles there from the subs about to enter the mixer. Midway through this third quarter, no change to the first quarter score of 2-0. With everything going the way of the Dragons, Fiji standing up strong in defence thus far. Belinda Smith here looks to find a little bit of space up the left channel again. Love them putting a bit of pressure on the ball. Anton Paul in there just checking that Laura Bukalidi is all good. And yep, she's all good. There we go. Bit of effort. And now a bit of space for Garcia. That one deemed dangerous on its way through, and they win one there, the Fiji team. Here's coach or manager or whoever's tending to the empty dugout at the moment for the Asian team.
Yeah, I think he's just there to make up the numbers and make the bench look a bit bigger.
That's it. That's exactly it. He might get a run in the men's game if he's not careful. As we see, nice transfer from Fiji, but we just, that little lead there is a little late, and then the strike is probably a little far away. They're going to win it, though. And let's see this Fiji team try and string a little bit together here. A couple of waves of attack would be really good, and I'm sure the crowd would get up for it as well. Pretty vocal in support of the Fijian group. Catherine Fabiano playing around the back with Dakota Corringham. Corringham there searching forward. That one Nadi Magoon can't bring in, and a bit of 3D on the way through the midfield now for the Dragons. Oh, that's a great pass. Oh, and a little bit behind her. You can see how dangerous they are, this Asian Dragon side, when they get running. There's two passes and very nearly an opportunity in the heart of the circle of the Fiji team. And similar to the men's program, a few girls in this New Zealand Asian side just there to make up the numbers for the team and get them over the line here for the tournament. But, good to see those that do have the heritage out there for the Asian team. And that's a bit of heritage, how you're doing that. No call there.
Yeah, the umpire just letting them play on there.
Yep. And what you can't quite see off the screen here is Fiji are just holding, pretty sure it's Lala Ravatu up the front there, in a little bit of a seagull position. She's going to have about that much head start on Belinda Smith, who's rapid in her scramble. But have a look, they might just throw a little speculator to perhaps try and link up their words. Ravatu at the top of the circle for Fiji. But unfortunately, it also does mean they're probably defending with one less in this press. So you just saw her there on the left of screen, and look at that transfer from the Asian team. Just like that, two passes there in a ton of space.
Yeah, exactly. Having that one player up high definitely, look, it can benefit you, but it doesn't allow you to press as well as with three up front.
Yeah, it's pros and cons, right? And they've got to chance their arm a little bit because they are chasing goals and they need to find something here.
Yeah, and they also are defending really well, so having that girl up front will actually benefit them.
As you see, another bit of staunch defence there from the Fiji ladies. Again, the staunch low tackling working. That one deflected out on the near side of the goal. Now, Luke, you obviously talked about some of the age group New Zealand stuff that you're a part of. What are the goals moving forward for you in the hockey space in the next couple of years?
Oh, I'd love to obviously make PHL. Obviously, I've sadly missed out this year. But yeah, definitely just makes you want to work harder. Yeah, and then obviously to go on to higher honours and get in the Black Sticks. though my brother's in there now, so being the older brother and having your brother in the black stick, it definitely motivates you a lot to try and get to that next level.
And you speak about coming from a pretty strong hockey family. What is the rest of the Elms lot, been doing with the sport?
Mum and dad doesn't play hockey anymore, coaches in Christchurch, actually coaching Christchurch boys at the moment. Played, I think, 2 uncapped games for New Zealand against America, so, man, if I just get 1 cap, I'll be happy. Just get 1 more than the old man, and then, Mum just, still playing and umpiring on a Saturday, so.
How good. The Elms family doing it all. Playing, coaching, umpiring. Good to hear. You need the extra one to have up on the old man at the family barbecue.
Yeah, exactly. And obviously, me and my brother playing 2 different positions. So definitely for goalkeeper, it's a lot harder for me to make it in the Black Six with obviously Dom Dixon going so strong at the moment.
That's exactly it, right? With like anything, the goalkeeper waves seem to go up and down, and sometimes you seem to have 2 or 3 that could really be, at any stage the best in the world. And then there's periods where you wish, maybe it was my time then.
Exactly. And obviously, playing, there's a lot of quality goalkeepers in New Zealand for the men group. So, but the good thing about the men, everyone's helping out each other. There's still a bit of friendly competition, but everyone loves to learn and loves to teach and help everyone, so it's quite good. And I
see, speaking of the Black Six group, I think they held an offshore training group at the moment up in Germany. At the moment they got a training group going over. Some of the coaches went over and with a fair few of the men playing up there at the moment.
It's good to see the Black Six actually doing camps in Europe. It's actually quite a cool opportunity for the boys that are in Europe to actually still have camps, and obviously they're so spread out in Europe, and it's probably just a 5-minute train ride down the road for a lot of them, but to still be a group and actually play a few games over there.
And that's that's sometimes the reality of trying to make it, the full-time gig is picking up those opportunities, not only financially to survive, but to upskill in what is probably the highest competition for regular club hockey in the world.
Yeah, exactly. I think probably benefits the Black Six actually having them just play hockey all year round. Some of those boys, you can see the boys getting better and better each time they actually play international hockey. Obviously not getting those results that they wanted at the Olympics, but if you look at 5 years down before they played those teams at the last Olympics, the scores are actually a lot closer to the last time they played them. So definitely they're on the up, the Black Six men. It's good to see.
And I think you bring up a really good point. Like, one thing that people from the outside looking in don't really understand is it's so hard for us to get international competition down here. Not a lot of teams are going to travel just to play a 2-test series against, say, the Black Six, where they could go into Europe and play a 6-test sweep through Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands. So the ability for the Black Six to get regular competition, like you say, being over in the Europe club scene, and even some of those guys that went up and played in India for a little bit there, it's got to be good things. As we see the whiteboard here of Paul Magoon, and again, we're talking about the DMs, we're talking about the positioning of those players so that they can get their exits. You see there now, we're looking up at that strike line, and I think from the picture there, just asking those strikers to be a little bit narrower, starting a little more stacked up the field. Some people call it a sloppy line out, spine set up, whatever it might be, stacking those strikers so they've got a little bit more layerage when they do break out, and the ability to throw, like you mentioned, those weighted passes perhaps into the channels and break up the back three. Having a look at some of the results from earlier in the weekend. Here are the day one results. Luke, your Fiji boys started off hot there. Big one over NZ Pacifica. Then both Punjab sides picking up wins. The men over the Indians, and the women, their Punjab Warriors, beating the New Zealand Māori team. And then we finish with the epic game of the day, the 5-4 via the penalty shootout. Fiji Heritage women getting their first ever victory at Heritage. And on the back two turfs, the Asians split the difference there, a 5-0 loss and a 5-2 win. coming on turf 2. So those results, of course, brought to you by One Foundation and by Alpha. And our team's stats here, it's pretty heavy in favour of the Asian side. But that means you've got to commend the defensive group of Fiji for what they've been able to turn away, considering that weight of possession and opportunity.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As you can still see, it's still 2-0. And the Fiji girls are in it. Like, they're defending very well. So I'd like to see the girls still play with some attacking intent and try and actually score a few goals and bounce back. It definitely only takes one goal for the girls to come back into the game.
Yeah, and it's crazy how much confidence you get out of one goal, right? You know, you even just have to look at your guys down 4-1. You score that one goal. We see a little opportunity here for Lily Botting. You guys, score that one goal right before the third quarter break, and it just gave the confidence to then actually go on and score 3 more. And it's amazing what just finding one, just getting the first one, will open up for a team.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely gives a little bit more confidence for the boys when they score a goal.
Yeah, so here we are, hopeful for this Fiji side. And I'm sure 98% of the crowd out in front of us are thinking the same thing here. Love to see Fiji get one on the scoreboard.
Oh, yeah, if they score a goal, the crowd's going to erupt. There's only a few of them, but it's going to sound like there's a whole stadium full of them.
Yeah, that's exactly it. We see, yeah, good physical challenge. Love that from Divyanka. She's going to give away a free hit, but I like the intent there. Again, just putting pressure on. They're at the right end of the field. If they can go and put a press on here. Pretty tough to press Julia King, though, I've got to say. But this is better. Here we go. Nadia Magoon finds the pass. Oh, too big there for Melba Nautu. Good signs here early.
Yeah, exactly. It almost looks like the Asia girls are slowly starting to run out of legs, which could be a good sign for the Fiji women.
Yep, and some... it's just 2 in a row now where they've turned them over, at least up towards the front half of the field. So, like the start. And this one should probably come back to the middle of the field, but no, we're going to play on here. And again,
yeah, definitely looked like a hit foot in the middle of that in the field.
Good pressure on again. This Fiji side, I like the signs here early. What are your thoughts, Luke, on the whole blue card situation? Is it potentially, maybe just some way that Fiji could perhaps get a roll on by using one here in this fourth quarter?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely understanding when to play the blue card, because obviously Asia could cancel their card out and just play theirs. I think definitely looking for when, if Asia do get a card, to play it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to Ruth, to Ravi and some of the umpires down there just before this women's game, and she said the same thing. She said it's pretty easy just to cancel that blue card by somebody else playing one, and you end up 10 on 10, but
yeah, it's definitely I see what they're trying to do with the blue card, but yeah, I think it's just actually recognising when to use it, and if you don't have to use it, but yeah, just recognising, like, if your team's on a bit of roll, maybe you do use it.
Yeah, and I think the best uses of it that we've seen already over the weekend is when you can stack it on top of a yellow card, right? That's the clearest opportunity there, just to go, well, here you go, we'll put you down 2, and even if you play yours back, there's A, going to be a bit more space, and B, we're going to have the number advantage for that 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, especially when the teams do cancel out. It actually opens the pitch up a bit more, and maybe allows those key players to actually play with a little bit more freedom and maybe carry the ball a little bit more than they normally do.
Well, interestingly, we saw it in full effect in you guys' game against the Asians there, where they had 2 yellow cards and the blue card all sitting at the same time. So they're actually down to 8 on the field. They played theirs at the same time, so I think you guys were down to 10, but 8 on 10 looks a fair bit different out there in terms of the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. I think they ended up playing it before they got their second yellow card, so it kind of didn't really work in their favour. And then, yeah, obviously a little bit of confusion, as we saw before, about players actually being off.
So again, good solid defence standing up there for Fiji. That one was Marika Magoon. She's had a lot of work to do at the back. And the Asian side come forward again, this time through Shanae Phillips. And The exit is the sideline. And subs ready to come racing on for both teams. Fabiano there in shot. This the Asian Dragons with that sideline hit. And happy just to go backwards. And now the pressure starting to come on from the Fiji team. Bit of defensive work there from Dakota Corringham. That's really good to see that there, even just off the ball there, just that physical work from the Fiji defender. It's something you teach a lot of young defenders is stay physical, don't make it easy for the attacker, and use your body in there defensively. So really good to see there. I think it was Kathy Fabiano at the back.
Yeah, exactly. There's definitely a defensive intent there from the Fiji women, not letting them get any easy goals here in the last quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. And they go deep into the pocket there, the Asian side. Nice couple of passes, but good tackle. And another one. It's the Fiji onlookers waiting for their opportunity, and that one's going to go all the way across the entire field there. A little touch from a Fijian stick on its way through, so the Asian side with another go at it. And there, Jess Ellis under a bit of pressure from the Fiji team. Still pushing up here. Here we go. Oh, very nearly. Oh, we wanted to see it.
Just a little bit unlucky there.
Yeah.
I think she would have been off to the races there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the ones I ID that's got to turn a pace with her as well. Laura Bukalidi. But again, the intent. Yeah, that's what we want to see from this Fiji team. Pushing up, putting some pressure on.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like they're trying to split them, not letting them go back, being able to transfer through the whole half of the pitch, cutting them off to one side.
Yeah, I think the only issue that I can see with that is when Jules and Belinda are the two that are rolled to the back. Pretty hard job splitting one way or the other with those two. But, yeah, it's definitely the play if you can target the right player or get in the right areas as Kaylee Ravi rolls forward.
Yeah, definitely going into the last 10 minutes here, trying to get the ball away from Julia.
Yeah, so if Julia's playing in the midfield, then cool. I think you want to split away from Belinda and force one of those other Asian defenders to have to play distributor. But yeah, at the moment they've got to try and get the ball away from Julia for sure. There's a nice big transfer here, bit of space up this right side, but needs some movement. Goes down Main Street, that'll help. A little bit of a burner there for Zoe Ellis.
Yeah, what a forehand. I wouldn't mind seeing her do that again from the 22.
Absolutely.
Definitely throwing a hard one into the mixer.
Yep.
And saying, good luck trapping this one. All you need is a little touch on the stick and to go into goal.
Yep. Here comes Belinda Smith. She's gone on a bit of a run here for the Asian side. An unfamiliar territory for Belinda. Oh, it's open. And there it is. And just like that, the Asian team go coast to coast, and it's finished off in the end by Katie O'Connor, I believe. You see it on the One Foundation replay. There it is. How ballsy is that, Luke, when you've got your captain on one post and you've got Belinda Smith sitting on the other post and she just goes it alone?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of confidence. I think, I probably would be passing it to the captain if I was her, but...
And now we see the blue card in action. I didn't actually quite see. There it is. It's the. I think it's the Fiji team that's used it.
Yeah, I wouldn't have mind seeing Fiji actually take their goalie off and then play the blue card. So then you're actually up by 2.
Yeah. So interesting one. I think you'd have to take the goalkeeper off first. I think is the rule. You can't take them off after you've used the blue card. And in fact, we might have had it the wrong way around. Looks like New Zealand Asia are using theirs. So Fiji, the ones down a player, and that's going to make it even harder to get out of this 3-0 hole. But you're right, you'd love to see pull the goalie, then your blue card, double up and have a real crack at it.
Yeah, definitely smart by the Asian woman to actually recognise you're up by 3-0. Fiji women are putting a bit of pressure on us, so let's throw them the blue card and see what they do with the player down.
Yeah, as we see, an unfortunate. It was unfortunate, but in the end there, it's the right call, and there was also nobody else in the attacking circle for the Fiji team to get on the end of that one. But I think you're absolutely right. In teams and in coaching, you often talk about that 2 or 3 minutes after scoring a goal. But if you can take another player off the opposite team, well, it makes that a little easier for this Asian team. So, yeah, heads-up play there. And like I said, just going to make things near impossible for this Fiji team to get out of a 3-goal deficit. Though, if they can get one, I'd love to see the confidence boost come on for this Fiji team. Feels like we're in Fiji with the crowd we've got out in front of us.
Yeah, but the weather, we're not feeling the Fiji weather.
No, it's not Fiji weather, you're right.
I think a lot of the boys are actually quite cold.
Yeah. And I'm going to guess and say that it's probably blue card the other way. At a guess. Now that I can see them all come. Yep, the Asian player come running and sitting down. So there we go. There is the blue card the other way. So 10 on 10 now, and it's going to take most of the remainder of the game. 10 v 10. But like I say, look, I maybe wanted Fiji to take their goalkeeper off first and double it up. Don't have the option now to do it.
No. Exactly. I think it's just recognising that you can take your goalie off and then play the blue card.
Yeah. And I think, again, that's just part of it being new. You know, people are not quite figuring out yet how to use it, when to use it, how to double up those advantages, and that's part of anything that's new.
Yeah.
You'll find the crafty coaches that can find the loopholes in them.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like normal hockey. It's just like, I wouldn't mind actually seeing conversions here on field goals like at the PHL.
Yeah, it's interesting. I had a good conversation with some of the people around this whole power play situation, and I agree. I'd love to see, perhaps some emphasis put on field goals and goal scoring and via the penalty shootout. They're always pretty exciting to see. So, yeah, it could be new innovations on the way, and that's the cool thing about this tournament, because it's not an FIH sanctioned or strictly New Zealand hockey run tournament. You can be flexible with what you throw out there and the way that things roll, and does add a bit of spice to the game. So yeah, really like the idea of Heritage trying to open up the power play. So we see there's a bit of power through Jess Ellis now, finds the T-bar, cross it goes. And nobody there for the Asian Dragons, but yeah, I agree with you. I like the concept of trying to create a power play. Just finding some exciting ways to do it.
Yeah, exactly. And with that conversion, the Fiji women are only 1 goal away from a 1-0, being 1 down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So for those perhaps unfamiliar with what we're talking about in some of the leagues around the world, and then also happened in the PHL, if you score a field goal, you then get the opportunity to take an 8-second penalty shootout straight after, called a conversion, to add another goal to your tally. Doing 2 things. A, trying to work on the skill set that is the penalty shootout, but B, encouraging open field play, because there's a lot of emphasis on the penalty corner these days, and just trying to add a little bit of extra for teams opting to really take the field goal route. As we see Shuku Morimoto there, bringing that one back up the top for the Asian team, and we're inside 5 minutes left here. This Asian Dragon side, they'll back themselves just to be able to hold on. Fiji, if they weren't already throwing everything at it, they've only got 4 minutes left to do it. They may as well chance their arm a little bit here.
Yeah, I definitely do like seeing Fiji playing through around the back here, trying to stretch the field as much as they can. Just trying to, they just got to string those passes up the line a bit.
Yeah, and I mean, interestingly, what you can't quite see on the screen there, they're actually playing with 2 of those high players now. So rather than just the one that they had earlier, there's actually 2 that are playing right up nice and high, and we'll get a free hit here coming for the Fiji team. Let's see if they can create something on the back of it. Magoon finds his sister Nadia, little challenge, and they're going to get a penalty corner out of it. Love the intent there. Like you said, Luke, I think it comes on the back of that nice back three shape, nice space around the back, and then their ability to throw some extra players forward.
Definitely strong carry on the ball as well, making that defender come in from the wrong side and actually win yourself a PC.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the first one for the ladies in pink this afternoon. And they'll try and figure out what their plan is here. There's always a little bit of a who can do what. What was your name again? What are you doing on this one? And they'll go and figure things out there. One we did see, though, a little earlier, I think it was number 8. I don't know if she's on anymore, but when Tessa Marie Heritage upright hit that one from just outside the 25-yard line, I wouldn't mind seeing her with a bit of a dig here, but it doesn't look like she's on. It's going to come out to the first bracket. It's Divyanka Kumar. Yep, smart. Wasn't tidy, so just puts it on the foot, and they'll get a reset for it. One thing that was pretty obvious to me, there's a bit of space on that left side there, just that sort of left layoff. Potentially, if they need to use it, the Asian team got out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's a tricky thing for the Fiji women. Obviously, it's their first PC, so it's generally you go for a straight hit, but they do the risky thing and actually...
Yeah, there it is.
They have.
Yep, that was the call right there. It was that space on the left and executed pretty well there. Found the foot of Belinda Smith, who's having to play a bit of a three-man out of that right post.
Yeah.
Set there.
Definitely with that slide left, you're making the goalie move, and if she's not fast enough, she's going to be off balance, and trying to save a ball off balance is quite tricky.
Yeah, let's see. This time, Messi, and it's just rolled on the back of the stick. That's unfortunate. And Divyanka then pulled out of a tackle, which probably would have had her sitting down for the remainder. And unfortunate there for Fiji. I think that second corner, that little left slider there was the one. Just Belinda Smith got in a pretty good spot. Fiji unable to convert on there. A couple of penalty corner opportunities. And now Jess Ellis is collecting sticks on the way through. And with about a minute left to go, she'll not be in too much of a rush to take this one.
Yeah, I definitely see the game slowly getting away from the Fiji women. Obviously, 3-0 down with a minute to go is not the ideal situation to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, but not through lack of trying. Look, we've said with the amount of possession, the amount of territory that this Asian side could have, they could easily be up 6-7 goals, and a testament to this Fijian defence who, bar the goals that are on the board, have stood up every time. So, huge credit to them. They've had a mountain of work to do, and to get through as much as they did, pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah, 100% full credit to the Fijian women. The goals that they scored weren't easy goals. They actually made them work for their goals, and they're definitely sound in defence.
Yep, so it will be 2 wins here for the Asian side. Early doors on Heritage 2025, wins against the Indian side and this here Fijian team. Fiji, they'll split the difference, 1 win, 1 loss. Their win coming through the penalty shootout. And a lot to play for coming forward here as the hooter sounds on this match. It's the Asian women, the Asian Dragons there with all 3 of their subs clearing the bench. They get the win 3-0 over the Fiji Heritage ladies. Strong performance by that lady on screen, Belinda Smith. She was fantastic. Julia King, we expect nothing less. Jess Ellis there we see as well. And really, really confident win for the Asian team. Fiji, well, they battled. They were under a lot of pressure. They had periods where they just couldn't get out of their own end. But they should take a lot out of the heart that they showed, especially in defence. That is our final game of the day here. And it's all flowers to the Asian Dragons on this one. Make sure you come back and join us again tomorrow. We've got another 4 games lined up. We'll check out some of these highlights, and then I'll get down and talk to our captains. All right, I'm down here on the turf now with the captain for the New Zealand Asian team. 3-0 win in the end. How good to get another win for you girls?
Yeah, it's really amazing, Ashley. I love winning. And it's awesome to play with all the Asian girls as well. So winning and being Asian. Double win.
How good. And like I said, second win for you guys. How cool is it to play alongside some of the superstars like Julia King, Belinda Smith? There's some pretty talented players for you to play alongside.
Yeah, honestly, it's really amazing because I love them. And I hope they love me. But we learn a lot just from watching them play and being a part of their team. So it's really amazing. And they are like the best. Like, I actually can't believe I'm playing on the field with them.
Awesome, and you've just come off the back of JHL, so a big couple of weeks for you now. How are the legs feeling and how are you getting through it all?
Honestly, sleep. I'm going to bed earlier. I fixed my sleeping schedule, so that's what's helping me through. But yeah, it was a pretty big week. It was good to get a win over there, so hopefully back to back.
You heard it here first. They're going for back-to-back, won the JHL and now trying to take home Heritage as well. Wow, congratulations on the win.
Thank you so
much. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend and we look forward to seeing you then.
Thank you.
Cool as. All right, and now here with our Fiji Heritage captain, Divyanka. Divi, tough one for you guys today.
Yeah.
You got a really exciting win in the penalty shootout yesterday, but a big effort from your team. You must be proud.
Yeah, I'm very proud of the girls. I mean, it's their first time here and they really did put up a good performance. I mean, we have some girls from the NZ helping us as well, so I think it was great, good game, playing second time together as a full team. So yeah, just really proud of the girls. They played their heart out, yeah.
Now, you came and were part of Heritage Hockey last year with the NZI team, then stayed and I believe played your club hockey over here, and now you've brought a whole bunch more of your Fijian ladies out for this year. How are they enjoying their time in New Zealand?
It's pretty much exciting for them. I mean, for most of them it's the first time here and they're having a great time. So yeah, I think for me to come here last year was just like a highlight, and then bringing a whole team, bunch of friends back was just like, yeah, really good for us.
And lastly, the Fijian crowd. They've been the loudest, the proudest. They've stayed out in what was the rain of the afternoon. How good to play in front of this Fiji crowd and how good for them showing out for you guys.
Yeah, I mean, like, they are us and we are them. So yeah, if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be out there. It's like all the supporters back at home too. And I mean, like, coming home away from home, but then it feels like home because we've got our supporters over here. So it has been great.
And lastly, just tell us a little bit about what's happening over here with the team.
So we have this is like our team ritual. So before the game, we always have a song in our language, which is the Aotearoa language. So before we come out, we sing, we pray, then we come out, and then when we finish, we give thanks to the Lord and we do our hymns. So yeah, that's part of it.
Absolutely.
Part of our culture, part of our tradition, yeah.
That's an absolutely beautiful way for us to finish day 2 here of Heritage. Tough game for you guys, but it's so excellent to have you here again this year. Good luck for the rest of the weekend and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you so much.
Awesome, Divyanka. All right, that's our final game for day 2. It was the New Zealand Asian Dragons getting home 3-0 over the Fiji Heritage ladies. Awesome game, 2 wins now up for the Asian Dragons. We'll be back with all the action from day 3 coming to you tomorrow. See you then.